Good morning, everybody. This is Judith A. Cope. You're listening to Mad Lover. Let's get into it. So, yesterday there was no show. Sorry, I got up and got a massage first thing, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was so relaxed. I just couldn't get the bat on the ball for a podcast. I mean, I wasn't thinking about anything in particular. I was so relaxed. It was very cool. And I go to this thing. It's called Aescape, Aescape. Unfortunately, they're in gyms, so I have to go through a gym to go to this. But man, they'll make a lot of money if they set it up like just a massage parlor, which sounds sordid, but like just I would say a massage studio with just, I would say 10 private rooms with these robots in there. That would be fantastic. The thing that I like about it is it's not awkward. You can adjust the pressure. Usually I wind up with a woman. I have very dense muscles. The tissue is super thick and dense, and I prefer a man. And then I'll go and I'll look up a place, and the man is never available. So, and it's been years since I've had massages, but this is the second time I've gone to this place, and oh man, I was so relaxed. It was awesome. It scans your body. It can find the knots, and then they adjust the massage to that. So, having fallen on my ankle, I remember when I was in physical therapy for my feet, she focused a lot on my calves, like they were super tight. So I had the machine focus on my calves, hoping to help heal my ankle sooner. And it was nice. It was nice. Anyway, that's a long explanation, but that's what happened. And I was relaxed the whole day. I'm into the self-care thing. So, yeah, I don't have much on my mind. I hope that Thomas Massie wins his election. I think it's today. I was working very diligently on a video. My channel that I'm launching, and working diligently to make sure people understand the depth of fraud and true crime and all these different things. I was working on a video yesterday about Bernie Madoff. And I mean, I don't think people understand how elaborate these schemes were and how big they were. But anyway, I think the election will be on a Tuesday, which will be today. So good luck to Thomas Massie in the state of Kentucky, who has been the only politician to be as straightforward and honest, and the only one that I trust. He's been making sure that people understand what's in those Epstein files. And we're in a weird time in history, right? How is it you're going to lose your seat, possibly, in Congress because you're opposed to hiding pedophiles? I mean, when are people going to wake up? Like, this is scary. This is one of the weirdest times in history in America, where it's clearly not America first. It's clearly not who we were raised to believe America was all about. Like, everything is just sort of scattered and strange and phony, and this allegiance to other countries over our own. All of this seems very, very strange, very, very orchestrated, and very scary. But you beat it with knowledge. And Thomas Massie was the first person I've ever heard. He went on Tucker Carlson, who I never imagined there would be a world where I would be like listening and liking Tucker Carlson, but off of Fox, he's very interesting. And Thomas Massie was like, it's like me and maybe one other person who doesn't have an AIPAC representative. And at that time, it might have been Cori Bush, because Wesley Bell got heavily funded by AIPAC. And that has to sway your vote on everything. And there are plenty of people out here who will take money just to say whatever you want them to say. And this is a dark time in American history. But I think we're going to come out of it and we're going to be better for it. There was also a compilation video I saw the other day where they were talking about age and term limits in Congress. The number of people in their 80s and 90s that are in Congress right now should terrify all of us. And the one image that sticks out in my mind is when Sam Bankman-Fried appeared in front of Congress and Maxine Waters was smiling at him and cheering at him in a way that really made me uncomfortable. And then you come to find out like it's all been a huge fraud. And it's like these old people have been bought and paid for years. And whatever she was in the past, I don't know that she's capable of being that now in her 80s. Like, I've lived with an octogenarian. Do you understand that? I know what the 80-year-old brain is like. And not everybody is sick. I understand that. But it's still an 80-something-year-old brain. Yeah? And it's still a lot going on up there that is unsettling, that you don't necessarily want to be in charge of your life. And with all these people running the government, and these people will not step down. That is incredible to me. And why we keep putting up with it, I really don't understand. There's so much amiss with America right now, and nobody wants to fix it. Or the people who want to fix it aren't allowed to come in and fix it because logic has left the room. People are insane. They get drunk with power. Why else would you want to be 80-something years old pretending like you care what's going on in the world and in Congress? You are padding your pocket. Nancy Pelosi's not the only one. I don't get it. I don't get how things have gotten so shitty on our watch and no one seems to want to fix it. You know, you got Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie and maybe one or two other people who come out and say things that make sense. But the rest of them are like, whatever. You know, I'm getting this good government, these benefits, and I'm going to retire when I feel like I can't do my job anymore. Well, that's ridiculous because normal people retire. You know, my mom retired at 72 and she was exhausted. You know, there are people who are still working into their 80s. I get that. But I think these particular jobs need to have term limits. You can't change my mind on that. And it'd be nice to have a leader again. And someone who wasn't so corrupted. I'm pretty sure every president is corrupt, including Obama. They all campaign on one thing. You know, like I said, I got blasted on TikTok because I was like, I'm not impressed by Kamala Harris. And they just went off. And I'm like, you all have the luxury of believing in these parties. And I'm not saying all the stuff that we're involved in right now would be happening under Harris, but it would be other stuff because she's beholden to other people. And some of the stuff I've heard about her, she reminds me of another prosecutor I know who pretty much faked their career. I mean, she got all the stuff she got because she was pretty and she had an affair with Willie Brown. And I'm not judgmental. I don't care that she did that. But, you know, let's call it what it is. Don't pretend like you're like this. Yeah, I think I lost respect for her early on when she was running for president because she said that she was a progressive prosecutor. Now, mind you, I'm working in a prosecutor's office, and this whole nonsense about being progressive as a prosecutor is, I don't know. I think it's one of the worst ad campaigns I've ever heard because the reality is you have to look at these crimes on a case-by-case basis. And when you look at her record, she locked up a lot of people. She was a law and order prosecutor. Own it. The fact that she wanted to pretend she was a progressive, really, I lost all respect for her then. And then when she got on somewhere talking about this is how she makes her collard greens, and I was like, what? Nobody asked the male candidate to cook and clean. people didn't understand what I was saying, and I don't care. I think it was a bunch of bots. But nobody asks a male candidate for anything, how they cook, or do they keep a tidy kitchen, or whatever. And I was offended for that, for her, offended by that for her. And then, the stuff I just kept continuing to hear, I kept continuing to hear about her. It was just nothing impressive. And I really, she locked up a lot of people, but her fellow prosecutors didn't think much of her skill set. And I've worked in an office with people who are very, very competitive. Prosecutors are very competitive. And they have their own hierarchy and value system. And they don't have a lot of respect for people who don't try a lot of cases, who don't know how to work up cases. It's weird. And some people try a lot of cases and they're not very effective. But those people are really proud of that effort. It's a weird world. But anyway, her peers were very clear that she was making more money because Willie Brown was hooking her up with side gigs, And I'm not mad at that. Like, if that's how you want to get down, But, like, don't pretend you're something that you're not. That I don't like. And I'm just over politicians. And I have a very specific reason for that. When you work for one and you see how the sausage gets made, and you know that they're not truthful, you know that they're not being honest, you know that they're misrepresenting the facts, it's difficult to watch. It's difficult to co-sign that too. So I hope Thomas Massie wins. That's all I can say. I mean, the fact that this fatalistic group of people who are billionaires and believe they're chosen to be something, and whether that's detrimental to us or not, and they don't care, is problematic. And by us, I mean Americans. This two-party bullshit that everybody's consumed with and they care so much about, you all are missing it. It has nothing to do with politics. These people are in control of our lives and our money. I'm not sure how that deal got struck, but we send a lot of money to Israel and we have nothing to show for it. People smarter than me have asked this question and I don't get it. Why are we beholden to this little country? And every president pleads fealty to them and protection for them. And you got people right here suffering who have no place to live. There's no mental health facilities in place. There's no infrastructure for mental illness, which we desperately need. There's not enough housing. This war is raising all the prices for no reason, for no real reason. And I don't believe the reasons that they've told us we're at war with Iran are the real reasons. I definitely think there's something else going on. And, it could also just be smokescreen because they don't want people to remember that there's millions of more Jeffrey Epstein files that haven't been released. And I don't know. I definitely know that Trump is in those files, and I know that it's going to be bad for him. And he's old too. He probably forgot he was in the files. He ran on all the stuff that he just has violated. And you have to ask yourself why. He was going to do no more wars. What happened to that? Make America great again. What happened to that? You find out that they now want to make you believe hantaviruses. I'm not taking no more shots. I'm pretty sure those shots didn't do anything good for our health. It was just created way too fast and made a whole bunch of money for Moderna and Pfizer. And who do you think owns all of those things in their portfolios? Hedge funds. Hedge funds make that money. Those companies needed a profit boost and they got it. And then those people take that money and spread it to their clients. And they keep a whole bunch of it to themselves. I don't know. Everything's starting to feel like a scam. So they can try to float another virus theory, but I don't know anybody who's going to take any more of these shots. I don't believe the shots are safe. I do believe the shots have caused a lot of health problems. And what I said 6 years ago stands. Work on your immune system. That's the best defense. Stop eating garbage. Eat real food. Cook your meals so you know what's in them. Or go to a respected source. You know, there are plenty of food services out here that let you know they cook with high quality ingredients. And take your vitamins. Supplement if you need to. Get some sunshine on your face. I don't care if you can't go outside. You can open your window. Get some sun in your face. Think a cheerful thought. Listen to your favorite music. Work on your immune system and calm your nervous system down. That's the best defense for all of this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm saying I'm not planning on getting any more of these vaccines. I don't believe they were in our best interest. Now you do what you think is best for you. Period. I'm not trying to make anybody think like I think, but it's worth considering. Work on your immune system. I think that'll help us all. It'll help us all anyway. All right, that's all I got for you today. Find ways to be relaxed. Relax your brain, relax your mind. Turn that news off. It's only depressing. And let's just have great days. You know, it's beautiful. Spring is my favorite time of the year. And we've had nice spring weather here. So I appreciate that. And yeah, that's it. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Love you so much. Thank you so much for reading the newsletter. It's in the top 20% of opens on Beehive. We have a small but mighty following, and you guys read and forward and share, and I really do appreciate it. I feel the momentum, and this is the knowledge that people need, because no one tells you about any of it. No one talks about it. You think you know what you're going to do if your mom calls you and she fell down or had a car accident, or your dad fell down and had a stroke, or you think you know what you're going to do, but you don't. So go ahead and sign up for Refuel. The link will be in the show description. And thank you so much for those who already support us. And if you read it, please go ahead and put your email address in there. I appreciate it. Take care.